from the courtyard. Most probably someone had broken in again and was going through the bins. In bed, I balanced my laptop on my knees. It took a while to click to Game of Thrones. I'd seen this one before. I'd seen them all, but it was comforting, watching these things over again. Most nights, the routine numbed me enough to sleep. I watched a pack of dogs as they chased a naked woman into a forest. I closed my eyes as she screamed into the darkness. When I opened them, Matt, 36, had sent me a photo of the charger for his phone. Bored at work the following afternoon, I sent Matt, 36, a close-up of my skirt. He fired back with a picture of his keyboard and, erotically, the corner of his hand. It was quiet in the office, quieter than usual. I heard Ed's footsteps as he approached my desk. It was obvious something had happened. "I need a word," he said under his breath. He was dressed head to toe in cycling gear, his crotch hovering around my face, its contours clearly visible through an explosion of neon lycra. "Can you come and see me when you're ready?" The last time Ed had called me into his office, it had been to tell me to take more risks. "You'd get more traction," he'd said, "if you loosened up." He liked to give pep talks which erupted randomly, usually when he was bored. He saw himself as an inspirational leader, someone who would lay his life down for his team. In fact, the work we did was hardly taxing. Ed spent most of his time in meetings, chatting up blue-chip clients, selling them the dream of a health and well-being app for minimizing sick days. All the same, despite Ed's efforts, the mood in the office was definitely off. There was a general sense of unease. People had started leaving earlier. That week, I'd heard one of the engineers taking a call from a headhunter at his desk. I'd overheard the whole conversation. He'd barely bothered to hide it. The whole office must have known because that corner of the room was generally quiet, an oasis of hushed keystrokes, whereas the non-tech side was usually buzzing and correspondingly full of junk. Reusable coffee cups, novelty phone chargers and piles of promotional gonks from sales, as well as the constant hum of Microsoft Teams meetings and Slack huddles. Another bad sign. In the past month, there had been 2 visits from 2 different branding agencies. The first one had shown us a portrait of our target demographic, rocket and parmesan woman. She had a white-collar job, but was time-poor, and, it turned out, she was a bit of a soft touch. She wanted the app to provide a safe and supportive environment that would allow everyone to achieve their fitness goals without judgment. The second consultant contradicted this completely. Her talk was all about competition. "No one exists in a vacuum," she'd written in green ink across the whiteboard. She'd had a deep German accent and had stridden in wearing a black t-shirt and jeans, her grey hair tied back in a severe ponytail like the designer Karl Lagerfeld. "This is why social listening is key," she'd said in her gravelly voice. "We buy into services not only for their convenience, but to display our status to others." She'd started prowling around the room, her leather trousers squeaking. "As our tribes become ever more dynamic, personalized and segregated, agile listening becomes key for delivering insights that can be actioned in real time." None of this had any bearing on the actual work we did, but it did fuel the sense of low-level anxiety. In the pub, there was talk of doom on the horizon. Growth was slowing. Funds were drying up. Any hope of a big sellout, or even for the real dreamers, an IPO, anything that might leave us with a decent payout before our time ran out. All of that was all receding faster than Ed's hairline. Despite these omens, my heart stopped when Ed said, "The big guy is going to join us." I went to the bathroom and spent a long time staring at my reflection in the mirror. I'm not sure how long I was there, but after a while, I started to look like someone else. At school, I'd been instilled with a romantic view of what the future held for someone like me. Like most people of my generation, I'd been